Hi everyone, I'm Kristen, Dr. K. Thank you for coming to my YouTube channel. I am a doctor of physical therapy and a strength coach based in Austin, Texas currently. On this channel, I'll be covering topics like pain, especially low back pain, because I see that a lot in my practice, weightlifting, running, pretty much all types of fitness, and some vlogs about my daily life here in Austin and all the traveling that I like to do. So if that sounds interesting to you, then you can subscribe or stick around and watch the rest of this video. Okay, let's get into it. So I just wanted to give a little background of who I am and where I'm coming from. I've had a lot of experience with fitness stuff in the past 10 years, and I just wanted to talk about that and kind of my approach to physical therapy. So I was a hardcore competitive CrossFitter for 10 years, and I was obsessed with making it to the next level of competition. So my first goal was to reach regionals, which I was able to do on a team in 2018. That was really fun. It was the first year that CrossFit decided to do 4-person teams, which was very convenient for us. And it was also actually the last year that there was regionals in general, so even more cool that we kind of like got in at the buzzer. After that, I also did Wadapalooza with a 4-person team as RX, and that was really cool too. That was actually in 2020, so it was before COVID started, and again, kind of like a buzzer beater, because we got into the last team competition just before everything kind of blew up. And then I did TFX here in Austin for 2021 and 22, which is a pretty competitive field, and I did RX for that too as an individual. So after all that stuff, I just wanted to make it to semifinals, basically, because regionals wasn't a thing anymore, and I wanted to do something like the next level up from what I had already done. So I tried for that individually and on a team in 2021 and 22. Both of those were unsuccessful, and at that point I was kind of just burnt out from trying to get to this next level in CrossFit that kind of was seemingly impossible at that point if you weren't a long-time CrossFitter since you were like literally 12, or if you weren't like actually pouring your heart and soul into it, which at that point I was kind of not really doing it. I was kind of over it because I wanted to do other things with my life instead of training in the gym for 3 freaking hours a day after my full-time job and taking care of my recovery, nutrition, and by doing all that, missing out on other things in life that I really wanted to do more. So anyway, that's when I got into more of different types of fitness. Like I just gave myself some freedom from the regimentation of CrossFit and explored some straight up bodybuilding, which felt really nice on my joints after all of the years of just like kipping everything and not doing any isolated movements. So that, I also got into climbing, a lot of yoga, which was also a necessary escape from the super masculine push yourself till you're dead every day energy of CrossFit, and it was more of honoring your body, listening to what you truly need inside, resting, flowing, etc. And that was really important after all that time of the opposite. And most recently, I got more into running, and I'm actually signed up to do a half marathon here in Austin in February, so rest in peace in advance. So yeah, I've been active for a pretty long time at this point, and during PT school, which I did in New York from 2017 to 2020, I was implementing the things that I learned in class to my fitness at the same time. So initially I was super inspired by Kelly Starrett, who was big in the CrossFit scene back in like the 2013-ish, 14, 15 time. And I was pretty inspired by him because at that point it was kind of like PTs were always like, well, you shouldn't lift heavy because it's bad for your knees and all this. And Kelly was kind of the opposite. He was telling people how you can lift heavy without it being bad for your knees by improving your mobility, building up your joint resiliency, and just, you know, how to take care of yourself when you are being super active. So I thought that was really cool, and it kind of inspired me to, and showed me that there was space for physical therapy and lifting, heavy lifting and intense exercise to coexist. So once I graduated PT school in 2020, I started working at a clinic in Austin that was actually affiliated with a CrossFit gym. So they had a lot of equipment there, like a bunch of bumper plates, barbells, a rack, a rig, kettlebells, and dumbbells of actually significant weight, not just the little tiny pink ones that you usually see at PT. And also this clinic used an approach called McKenzie method for treating back and neck pain. So I learned a lot about treating those types of pains with this method while I was there, in addition to having access to all that equipment to use with my patients at the same time. And the combination of both of those things was really effective at treating, first of all, anybody with back and neck or any body pain for that matter. And second of all, people who came from CrossFit and they were already active and they wanted to get back to doing what they had been doing before and not just be, good enough to like get up from the toilet. Obviously, they wanted a little bit more out of their therapy. So having those things together was really cool. And I was able to help a lot of people overcome their pain and get back to their lifting routine. So pretty much the way that I treat now uses this same approach, and I have created this system based on all these people that I had worked with at this clinic. And it's a 3-step process. So the first step would be to identify your directional preference. And that just means whatever direction of stretching decreases your pain. Now, usually for the lower back, this means extension or bending backwards, but it could also be bending forwards or sideways. It depends on your body, but usually it's extension in my experience. But I really love this approach overall because it is specific to you and your pain and your body and not just based on some arbitrary list of exercises for this type of pain. So once we figure that out, we do a whole bunch of exercises incorporating that direction so that you stay as active as possible, while also honoring your body's preference. So then the next phase of this process is slowly reintroducing the opposite motion of your preference back into your body in terms of stretching and in terms of the exercises that you're doing, because we don't want to avoid anything forever. And we want to just make sure that whatever was triggering you in the first place, we introduce it slowly so your body can get used to it and be okay with that again. And then the third part, which is my favorite part, is just getting back into full training without any precautions. So whatever movement you're doing should be totally fine in terms of it affecting your pain, but now it's just a matter of ramping up that intensity to get back into full send CrossFit or lifting or whatever it is. So after developing this program and seeing it be effective with probably hundreds of patients by now, I just wanted to share it with everybody and help you get back into lifting in the gym if you're currently out of commission due to some sort of pain. Because I know how important lifting is to your well-being and just your mental health overall. I've had a lot of my own demons be tamed through heavy lifting and intense exercise myself. So I know how frustrating it can be if you are unable to get to that place in the gym because of an injury. So I guess the point of this video is to just introduce myself formally and give you a little bit of background so you know where I'm coming from, what I've done, what's up, and tell you how I work so I could possibly help you with your pain if you have, or anything that you might find of value on this channel about pain, about back pain in particular, about lifting, running, lifestyle stuff, pretty much all the above. So if you're dealing with pain and frustrated that the traditional PT system is not allowing you to get back under the barbell, then I hope you find this channel helpful. Comment down below if you have any questions about anything or if you just want to say hi. I hope this resonated. And that's it for today's video, little intro. And I'll see you next video. Bye.